Hello everyone, my name is Natalie and welcome to my very first YouTube channel video to Magdalene's Wish 3311, and I'm a little nervous, so bear with me. It's my very first time doing this. I'm a typical Cancer sign. I am a little bit of a hermit at times and shy, and so to do something like this is kind of big for me. But I've been really guided by divine to step out of my comfort zone and speak from the heart and speak my truth for my mission. And my mission is my twin flame mission. Why I'm here. Why all twin flames are here. So I am a twin flame. I woke up, met my twin flame a year ago, and he triggered a really intense awakening for me. And it's been really, really intense. And almost a year ago to the day, 1 year and 2 days to be exact. And it's been a remarkable journey. We had met before, but just not really connected, you know. We were very close to each other, physically, location-wise. So we had met, chatted, but and there was just this one night. It was actually up at our cabin, and I was trying to light a fire, and he quite literally was next door, and he came over and he's like, "Can I help light your fire?" And not knowing what was going to happen, or that we were twin flames, and how appropriate is that you know, the first thing that they say to you is, "Can I light your fire?" I mean, that just speaks volumes, I think, for divine and divine's hand in all of this journey. And it's been a real intense journey. It's been very difficult. You know, with a lot of beautiful moments and a lot of painful moments, a lot of the triggering runner chaser phase that, you know, we all go through, and it's so difficult. And there's times where we just lose hope and we get angry. We get angry at God, we get angry at divine, like, why am I in this situation when, you know, you want something but you can't have it, and it seems like cruel punishment at times. And it's been hard, and it takes a lot of deep soul searching. And it takes a lot of inner healing and a lot of patience and trust in divine, trust in God, trust in yourself, trust in the whole process, and in a lot of releasing of things that you just don't need anymore within you. So if you've been on this journey, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's hard. But I'm here to share a little bit about that, but also the gifts that have opened up in me that I didn't have before. I've always been intuitive, but I didn't have these gifts before. So it's just blossomed, you know, like the seeds were there, and all of a sudden somebody put water and fertilizer and sunshine, and it's kind of like, boom, this garden of a whole variety of wildflowers has kind of popped up. And that's kind of how all of my gifts are. And it's been really fascinating. So I have clairvoyance, audience, cognizance, and sometimes sentient, which is feeling. And I sometimes do get prophecies in terms of shown visions of the future. I do get a lot of visions of the future, or I'm told things by divine about certain things, reasons, and what's going to come. And that's pretty intense. I've never really shared anything before. And recently I just started doing some like tarot card and oracle card reading, and it's something that's come to me, and the energies have been so intense lately, and I've been getting some really intense messages, and the messages are just really powerful. Visions, words being spoken to me, just all kinds of signs. And I did a collective divine masculine reading a couple days ago. It's taken me this long to figure out YouTube and set this all up, figure out how to do this. But I felt guided that I need to share this, and I'm just now gonna be putting myself out there to start doing readings for money, for energy exchange, I should say. That's kind of the new way of doing things, is we're doing energy exchange. So, you know, we'll figure that out. But anyway, it's I just feel guided, Divine's pushing me to step out there and share this message. So before I get into the reading, I did, an extensive tarot card reading, which I was just kind of blown away. And some of the other readers that I do watch on YouTube, and we all watch them, very similar cards, very similar cards. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm getting all the same cards, or very, very similar cards and messages. And so I'm going to share them, and I've already kind of read them intuitively, and so I'm going to share that. But first I'm just going to read a couple other things of visions that I've had that I really need to share. And one of them was a couple weeks ago. Well, first let me back up. I think I'm a divine feminine, and I think a lot of the feminines, at least the ones that I speak to, we've been really frustrated because we're kind of at this level here spiritually, doing our work, doing our mission, getting started on mission. Our spiritual gifts are opened up. We've just done so much work, and we feel the connection. We feel our divine masculine in our hearts. A lot of us, our divine masculine send us songs and messages, sometimes 3 and 4 a day. We feel their energy. And I also do Reiki. Reiki is another gift that came to me this year, and I'm a level 2 Usui Reiki practitioner, and I'm going to be doing my master soon. I'm also studying Arcturian Reiki, and I will be doing Arcturian light healing, and that's really, really exciting. So I'll be excited to share all that stuff with you guys. But I've lost my train of thought now. The gifts that have come in have just been really incredible. So the readings, I'm going to start, be sharing those, but the visions, that I'm getting are really intense, and I do need to share that with you. So, but the masculines have just been really asleep, and I think it's where the feminines have been so frustrated. The masculines have been doing their own thing. They've been in hermit mode, which is good. They're doing their healing work. They're doing their inner work, and that's exactly what we want them to do. They need to do that for them. We each have to do our own journey for ourselves. Number one important thing is our own inner work alone, not together, but alone. Really, really important. And, but we've been frustrated because we feel the energy, in us, and they're not, or they're denying it, or if they do feel it, they're denying it to themselves. They're not telling us. So they haven't really shared very much with us. And it's been really hard because we're putting our hearts out there, and then, we don't get anything in return, and it just makes you, it can trigger you, and it can make you just want to give up and walk away. But don't give up, don't walk away. And I'm here to tell you why. Okay? So stay with me here. So the first vision that I was shown a couple weeks ago, and I'm a nurse. My background is nursing. I've not practiced in a little over a year. Just kind of really shifted myself in every imaginable way possible. And my guidance has told me directly and through other spiritual teachers and guides that I'm no longer needed in nursing, and my mission and my gifts are needed elsewhere. So it's been really hard for me, but I finally am here now to really let go of that past identity of who I was and step into this new one. So this is it. So this vision I was shown was my masculine in an operating room under anesthesia, and watching the anesthesiologist, give him all the gases and drugs and everything, and totally asleep. And with anesthesia, there's drugs that you can give to reverse anesthesia. And so they said, he will be given a drug, and of course this is metaphorical, to wake him up. And this is going to happen in a couple weeks. And it was somewhere right around last Thursday, Friday, which was the 30th, 31st, something like that, the very end of August. And that they would be woken up. And they would have their recovery time where they're a little bit sleepy and kind of confused, where am I, what happened? And then it's going to hit them kind of like the pain hits you after surgery. They're going to recover, but it's going to be this whole new awareness. And then I was shown my divine masculine looking at himself in a reflection of a very still, calm lake. And what reflected back to him was the ascended master that he is that he is incarnated from. And he has not really embraced that aspect of himself. So of course, we are who we are now in this moment in time, but I think many or most twin flames that I know and that I've studied and read about are soul fractal incarnations of archangels and ascended masters. So we all have a profound wisdom within our soul that is there ready to be accessed. And it's just kind of a matter of opening ourselves up and tapping into that wisdom that's within our DNA, with, you know, in our higher selves, in our soul. It's there. So, and it takes time to break everything down to be able to access that higher realm. It takes a lot of time, a lot of work. And he's not really, he's connected with himself, who he is in some aspects, but not in terms of, you know, really embracing this aspect of who he's incarnated, you know, from, not really identifying with it. And we really shouldn't identify, but at the same time, that wisdom is there. So it's kind of a balance between maintaining your identity and also embracing that aspect of your past life, because it does correlate to this mission in this moment in time. So that was profound, that he saw who he was. And I was speaking to another twin flame friend of mine, and she was shown a very similar vision of a divine masculine stumbling into the kitchen in boxer shorts, you know, sleepy, and rubbing the sleep out of his eyes and getting the cup of coffee, and just kind of like, you know, that confusion in the morning. And in a very similar image, and I thought, wow. And then Friday, I felt this massive shift. I was like, what's going on? I feel different. I just felt peace. I felt calm. Anxiety, anger, negative emotions and feelings, worry, everything just seemed to vanish on Friday, this past Friday, at the very end of August. And of course, all of the retrograde season, eclipse season, is finally behind us, most of it. So the astrological energies are helping with this shift in a big way. So that's a really good thing. But so they're waking up. And it's interesting, because there was a song that was sent to me by Divine, or by him the other day, by Katy Perry, I'm Wide Awake. And I was like, oh my God, this is a total message. I'm wide awake. And yeah, I think they're waking up. And the card reading really shows it. Another really amazing vision I had, was shown me up just 2 nights ago, was I saw a flash of light and an angel appear. And the angel reached his arm down into a big body of water and pulled out, as if they were drowning, pulled out the divine masculine. So it was the divine masculine's arm up, and you just saw their eyes were closed and their head was emerging up from the water, and the water was all washing over them, and they looked very asleep. And it was almost akin to the birth of a baby, you know, the head coming out and all the fluid coming around them. You know, and their eyes are open and they're not breathing, they're not aware of where they are yet. And so it was really a lot like that. And it was, but it stopped at the head, you know, it just, the vision ended there. So it was like, wow, another sign that they're emerging, you know, they're waking up, they're emerging. And then I was given Latin phrases in my sleep, and the angels, if many of you probably have experienced this, 4 a.m. time, angels like to wake us up and give us messages. And I was so tired, but this voice kept going in my head with Latin. And I'm like, I don't know any Latin. So I got up and I had to look it up. And I recognized the phrases. And one of them, I think everybody knows this one, E Pleuribus Unum, which is the motto for the United States. And it translates to together we are one. Union of nations. Translate that to twin flames and to the awakening process. And it's union with self, and union with your divine counterpart, and in the bigger picture, it's unity consciousness with the whole collective. That because together, the whole collective, we are all one. We are all connected. We are all united in one consciousness. But it starts with us, and we have to have union within ourselves first before we can have union with our counterpart. So once we come into a place of union with ourselves and have total self-love and feel whole without any need or attachment, then we can have our union with our twin flame. And so this message was like, wow. And so it really, to me, felt like, unions are coming, for this first wave, the collective anyway. And it felt really profound. And it felt like a collective, both personal and collective message. Because I know the wave that I feel that my twin and I are in, it's kind of this wave that is everybody's kind of chattering about right now, that are going to be coming into union this fall and winter. The other phrase that I was told, and I'm just looking at my notes, was Dominus Illuminatio Mea. The Lord is my light. And how beautiful is that? And again, these phrases were just going and going and going, and I had to like concentrate, like, what are they saying? And I really had to pay attention to the sound of the words without understanding it or translating it or anything, and then just go look it up. And but the Lord is my light, and Christ consciousness, basically. Twin flames are here, kind of holding that Christ consciousness energy and light, which is Christ consciousness is unconditional love. It is divine love and energy. It's forgiveness, because this is the energy that we're bringing to earth to teach to the collective, to share with the world. And this is where we're shifting the entire world to, is not a religion, but Christ consciousness energy, which is unconditional love. And that's what we're here to bring. We're here to bring that within ourselves and with our twin, within our family, within those around us, within our community. And it's a shift from the 3D way of doing things into this 5D way of doing things, from a self-serving, ego-based way in society. And we have so much deep programming that even when we try to shift the unconditional love and shift to the forgiveness and shift to this new way of, being, it takes time to shed those old ways, because let's face it, we've been that way for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years, however old you are, right? And that's how society's been for a couple thousand years. So it takes time. It takes time for us to shift to that, to this unconditional love. But that's the work that's what we're working towards. And that's what, as twin flames go through the awakening, we go through a lot of ups and downs and a lot of pains, a lot of lessons and trials, and triggers and releasing, for the purpose of coming to that oneness. So once the whole collective starts to wake up, then we're here to help guide the whole collective and teach them, and we become, once we're healed, we become the healers for everybody, in whatever healing way that is, whether it's doing, Reiki, like many do, or energy healing, or just working with the environment and food and nutrition and gardening or water or anything. It doesn't matter. Teaching new types of education, new way of approaching things. It doesn't matter. It's just your love and your light and how you approach things. So that's what we're here to do and here to embody, is this Christ consciousness energy of love and light. So it's something really to always remember on a daily basis, is why are we here? What is our purpose? What is our mission? Beyond any type of connection or union or romantic connection or whatever, at the end of the day, it's union with self and our mission, and to share this energy with the world. And so I think that was kind of that overall message I wanted to share, with those visions and experiences that I've had. So they're, pretty profound. So the card reading I'll jump into here. Again, I did this, in the middle of the night, so maybe a little bit more than a day ago. But for the overall energy for Divine Masculine, we've got the Hermit, and this is, I'm using the Oceanic Tarot deck, which I love. I'm a water sign, and I love this deck. I've got 9 of Wands and the Hermit here for their headspace, or overall energy. I'm sorry. This is, hopefully there's not too much glare there, but this is the overall energy. And so, like when I first did this reading and when I reviewed it again today, you know, basically they've been in this hermit mode, they've been thinking, and I think everybody's readings are pretty much showing kind of the same thing. They've been in this hermit mode a long time. And even oracle cards are showing kind of this vision quest type energy. The Nine of Wands, it says on the bottom of this card, you know, energy. Defense. Nine of Fire, Nine of Wands. And they've been very resistant, very, a lot of denial of the process, who they are. They've been fighting the changes, fighting the connection, fighting within themselves, a lot of inner turmoil but a lot of passion at the same time. Like there's just a lot of intense energy, but they've just been really kind of sitting and thinking. Their headspace, and I find it interesting, like, and I have, for most of these, there's 2 cards because I always grab the bottom of the deck card. So for this, we got 10 of Swords and the Tower in reverse. So endings and the Tower in reverse. So the Tower in reverse, you know, the Tower has been coming up consistently for my Divine Masculine and for other Divine Masculine readings. And now it's in reverse. I'm thinking, okay, the worst is behind us. The worst is behind us for whatever major changes, shifts, drama, things that are having to break apart. The worst is the biggest shifts and the biggest disruptions have kind of already occurred. Now and we know that the Tower basically has the meaning of it's the breaking down in order for things to be rebuilt. If your house burns, you can't take part of it away and then fix and build. You have to tear the entire thing down to build a better, newer house that is of safe structure and sound. And you can't use any of the old material. You got to get rid of all the old stuff and you got to rebuild it the right pieces, the right way. So the Tower is a good thing because it's very cleansing in a sense. You know, it's a shakedown, and it's hard, but it doesn't have to be hard. Now, again, with the Nine of Swords, you know, they've been resistant, you know, they've been fighting it, but I think now they're finally not fighting it and letting things shift. And because the Ten of Swords is about the end of a cycle, it's about ending. And this Ten of Swords comes up every single time I do a reading. 100% of my readings, Ten of Swords has come up. Every single time, or some other similar message in like an oracle deck. So that has been very, very consistent. So they're seeing the end of this cycle, end of karmic cycles, end of karmic patterns, behaviors, jobs, relationships. They're seeing this. They know it. They know it. They might still be existing in the 3D world, but in their mind, they know things have come to the end of a karmic cycle. And they know that in their head. What they're feeling in their heart space. So I had 3 cards that ended up jumping out. And it's interesting because there's kind of a contrast between 2 of them. So the first 2 that jumped up, Knight of Swords and 5 of Cups in reverse, is what had come up. And I'm sorry if you guys can see that. And so that's what first came up. So it's a lot of drama. Knight of Swords is delivering things without tact, you know, not very nice. It's kind of a fast, aggressive behavior, sharp tongue, tactless, just a lot of drama, just things that are being said that were hurtful, things that were being said that, you know, with not being sensitive to the other person's emotions. And I think this was kind of going both ways too. 5 of Cups in reverse, so it's sadness. And I think this sadness they're leaving behind. So this is their heart space. So I feel that they, in their heart, they're over the drama, they're over the hurt, the pain, the words that were spoken that were hurtful on both sides. They want to be over that, and they want to heal their heart from that. They're over the sadness. They don't want that sadness anymore. They want to move away from it. And the other 2 cards that came up on a much more positive are Page of Cups, imagination, and Three of Cups, reunion. And again, Three of Cups, these two cards come up in my readings a lot as well. So the imagination, Page of Cups, this is like young, fun, flirty energy, love, friendship, relationship. So it's just this, they want to move into, you know, it's not this King of Cups type of energy, right? It's this young, you know, playful energy. And Three of Cups is reunion, so I'm feeling, yeah, kind of reunion, you know, with their divine counterpart, but also having fun with friends and family, having a, you know, doing social things. And it's the energy of both of these to me is just very much getting out, getting away from the sadness and the drama and the hurt and the pain of things that were said in the past, and moving into this loving, fun, more playful energy. So that's kind of what they're feeling in their heart of what they're wanting. And then I got for what they're desiring, Seven of Cups, possibility. Oops, sorry. Seven of Cups, possibility, and Six of Swords, calm. Now this Six of Swords comes up for me every single reading, and what they're desiring, what they see in their counterparts and what they're wanting. They see the possibility of the connection. So again, they're still in their headspace. Keep in mind they got that Ten of Swords and Tower in reverse energy and Hermit. So they're still thinking mode, but they're also, you know, feeling in their heart and thinking of this possibility of this connection, with their counterpart. But they also desire calm, because they're looking at their divine counterpart as the peace and calm, as the smooth waters. They want to move away from the sharpness, the drama, the hurt, the pain, the difficulties, and they're ready to move into a peaceful, calmer, you know, they're seeing the possibilities of this peaceful, calm home, basically, you know, with the divine counterpart. And in general, they just want a break. They want calmness. They want peace. They don't want stress. They've been through a lot, and they're still going through a lot, and they just want they kind of want a break. Let's see, divine masculine, how they're feeling towards the divine feminine counterpart. Three of Swords, heartache. Yeah. And Two of Wands, vision. So this Two of Wands I get all the time as well. I don't know if you can see that because of the glare. So the Three of Swords, they're feeling, several messages came through with this one. First of all, they're feeling sadness and pain in their heart because they know they've hurt their counterparts. They know there's been a lot of heartache. They're aware of it. They're feeling it. And they know that they hurt. Because this is how they're feeling towards the divine feminine. So they're feeling our heartache. They're feeling our pain. And they're hurting because of how they hurt us and how they've been hurting us with their patterns for the last however long it's been occurring, you know, year, or however long it's been for everyone else. And they're also seeing us as Two of Wands, which is, you know, many will read as like a twin flame card, as it's Two of Fire, vision. So they're seeing this vision, this possibility, and it's two coming together. It's a two of Wands, and it's passion. It's that fire energy. So they're feeling this passion. They see the possibility. They're seeing, you know, they're feeling this desire and passion to want to come into partnership. They want to come into partnership and have passion. They're also feeling they're also finally starting to recognize that you really are my divine counterpart. This really is a special soul connection. You know, we do have a bond in our heart, and my heart is opening up, and I'm starting to feel the pain. I'm starting to feel you. I'm starting to feel you in my heart, and I feel your pain, and I'm hurting too. And that's what this Three of Swords is. It's a really intense energy that's coming through now, and that had come through. So their heart is really opening up, and that's huge because it's really been closed down. Oh, and that brings me to one other thing I needed to share. Speaking of their heart opening up, when I do Reiki, I use a pendulum to check chakras, and my for those of you that aren't familiar, when I do Reiki on myself, I can invite in my divine counterpart's energy and I can feel it come in, and I will do Reiki on both of us. So it's quite profound, and I'll check both of our chakras before and after, and it's really quite profound how they open up and balance for both of us. But his have been shut down for about 2 weeks, completely shut down, and like the heart, normally his chakras, my pendulum will swing big time, and it was like barely doing anything, or it was going in reverse. His heart was in reverse, his sacral chakra was in reverse, I think his throat was in reverse, which means completely not speaking his truth whatsoever. Basically what that means. And the heart, being in reverse, to me, that means shut down, but also not, in denial, denying his feelings, denying the emotions, denying what they feel. And so it was really profound, and I did some Reiki, kind of got them back, and then they would go right back. So, I mean, it was really significant. When that shift came through on Friday, I checked on, I think it was on Saturday, and I was blown away because both of our chakras were, not only were they wide open, they were perfectly balanced. And I've checked every day and it's been the same. I haven't had to do any Reiki for either of us. And so something massive shifted collectively, that his chakras completely, I mean, it was just, I don't know what it was, some type of divine intervention, something happened, but it's really quite profound, that the shift. So anyway, back to the reading. So I asked about where are the divine masculines at in terms of their like action space for this week, and holy cow, I got the 8 of Wands, travel, which is a very intense energy, and the bottom of the deck that came up was the Lovers. Moving towards our divine counterpart is kind of what came through. So the Lovers card is about choices, making decisions of who do I want to be in a relationship with, that type of thing. And it can be choices in terms of like jobs, it can be choices, other types of relationships. It could be karmic, it could be just a choice within themselves. They could be totally single, hermit, kind of off in the woods doing their own thing. And it could just be, that choice to come towards, their divine counterpart. And the 8 of Wands, 8s are about change. The number 8 is about change and travel. Travel is moving towards. It's a very fast energy. It's a very intense energy. It's a lot going on. It's also, it could also have something to do with their mission and ideas they have coming through for mission. But it's a passionate energy. It's not a slow moving, type of energy with Earth or Pentacles. It's a very fast, passionate energy, and it's movement forward. They want to move towards, divine counterpart. And this was the action space for this week. And to have that 8 of Wands energy, I was like, whoa, that's really, and this is what they're, wanting. This is what they're feeling that they want to do. What plays out in 3D, I don't know, but it's what they're desiring. And again, this is a collective reading. The connective energies I got for both of us were 5 of Swords in reverse and the Star, Hope, which is beautiful because the 5 of Swords, says conflict on the bottom of this particular card. And it's basically like, kind of like this other sword energy, the 6 of Swords of peace and calmness we want to move to, the 10 of Swords, the other ones that we had in reverse here, but we both want to leave conflict behind. We both want to leave the heartache, the confusion, things that were said, just conflict of beliefs, conflict of ways of approaching a relationship, ways of speaking, ways of listening, ways of approaching things, ways of being. We just, whatever happened in the past, we are ready just to, leave it behind and look to the future. I mean, the fact that this came out for both, connective between the two of us, that means we both are holding hope. We both are wishing upon a star. So the star card is also about wishes coming true. So, we're both really, truly feeling energetically and in our hearts that we really want to make this work. We really want this connection to come together. And We're going to trust in divine. We're going to trust in the process, and we're going to wish. We're not going to give up hope. And it's about wishes being fulfilled, and it's also about trust and having faith in divine, that your wishes, all your hard work and your prayers and everything are going to pay off, that your wishes will come true and leave this conflict behind. All right, so we're almost done. Hopes for this week. This was also very intense. So I got, actually, I'm going to put this the other way. Kind of like this. Okay, so it starts off with this one, sorry. The Queen of Wands, fire, passion, and this is hopes and desires for this week. So it's Queen of Wands, the World, which is cycles ending and beginning. So it's basically the end of one cycle, beginning of another, and movement. It's things are moving. There's this pawn of school of fish moving around this mermaid, and it's things are moving into there's movement, which is good. It's not stagnation. We've moved away. The reading started off with the Hermit, and that's good that he's at the beginning, because that means we're leaving the Hermit behind. And then we've got the Knight of Wands, which is activity, which is a lot of movement, and it's between this being the hopes for this week and the action steps for this week with the Eight of Wands, travel. Both of those are intense, fast energy with a lot of moving on, a lot of activity. And this one's also about moving house, new home, or thinking, at least the hopes. Okay, so this is what they're feeling, and this one is about speaking from the heart. What I was picking up with the Queen of Wands is speaking from the heart, speaking your truth, but getting out of ego, getting out of their head. This is not a sword card, okay? So this is speaking truth, speaking from their heart, speaking with passion. What do they want? What do they desire? What are they feeling in their heart? They're finally feeling their heart, so they're really wanting to come forward and communicate and share what they're feeling in their heart, of what they want, and truthfully, and we have to listen. We really have to just sit and listen. And and again, it was interesting because the way that these cards were, the Queen was facing, I don't know if you can kind of see that, they're facing each other, right? So the Queen and this Knight are facing each other, and this World card is kind of in between. So it's, I want to speak my truth. I want to move towards you. There's movement. This cycle is ending. And it says on the bottom of this card, regeneration, rebirth, new beginnings. So they are seeing this new cycle. They're seeing one cycle come to an end and another one. They're seeing the possibility and the growth of this new cycle. And they want this new cycle. They want this new life. They want this new beginning. And they want to talk about that. So, and it's, again, this fire energy, this wand energy, it's fast and it's intense and it's from the heart. What's actually going to play out in 3D, how fast that will be, I don't know. I've learned to not put any attachment to any type of timeline, and I think we've all learned that. Okay, so messages, what the Divine Masculine wants us to know. Guys, this is beautiful. Look at this. We've got Ace of Cups, and this is Angel of the Ocean, which is, oh gosh, I'm blanking on what this is in this deck. I think, is it the Hierophant card? Not the Hierophant, but the, oh gosh, I'm sure you guys will figure it out. I'm totally blanking on what it is, but it's basically, I'll just hold this up because it's beautiful. So it's the Infinity, which we know kind of represents twin flame. The connection between twin flames is eternal. It is there always, always has been, always will be. Nothing will ever break it because it's forever. It is an eternal connection. But what I'm feeling, and this is what they want us to know, that they want to balance the energy. They know that we have been putting in a lot of work. We have been the one kind of expressing our emotions, putting our hearts out there, wearing our hearts on our sleeve, expressing our emotions, and we've taken, Divine Feminines have all taken a step back, but they want to balance the energies out, but it's about healing. So it's about balancing masculine, feminine energies. It's about balancing the shadow aspect and the light aspect, because we all have both, and we have to balance both and integrate. So we can't come into union until we integrate the masculine and feminine and our shadow, and that we fully have cleared our shadow. You know, we're not going to bury it. You know, we're not going to be love and light 100% of the time, because we're human. We're spiritual beings having a human experience, right? So this is really about coming into balance so we can come into oneness and unity with ourselves, because, you know, there's one person here, but she's holding 2 cups, okay? She's holding 2 cups, and really once those cups are filled equally with the same amount, then that union can come in. But right now it's healing. They want us to know that they want to bring healing to the relationship. They want to offer their cup. They want our cups. They want to fill our cup up, because we've been trying so hard to fill their cup up, and we've kind of just said enough is enough. But now they're really kind of like, we need to balance this back out. But they're also healing. They're also doing a lot of healing. And then the Ace of Cups, you know, it's about emotion. So this can be about overflowing deep emotions. And if their heart is just now opening up, chances are they're feeling a lot of really big, deep emotions. If they're just now allowing that feeling to come in and they're waking up to it, you know, imagine how we have felt over the last however long it's been since you know, as a twin flame kind of woke up, to that being a twin flame, and all the emotions that the journey brings. Imagine, you know, we know, and we're not denying that they felt nothing, you know, we know that they have, but I think it just really scares them. And I think as, you know, feminines, we're that softer, more emotional type personality anyway. And, you know, for masculines, it's been a lot about, it's not, for masculines, it's been a lot about, it hasn't been culturally acceptable to be emotional, express emotions, to be all soft and touchy-feely. You know, that hasn't really been an acceptable thing, and it's shifting, but it, you know, needs to shift a lot more to where they feel comfortable expressing and sharing their emotions. And in society, not just obviously for twin flame, but society in general, you know, with the masculine just kind of becoming softer, more empathetic, sympathetic, nurturing and soft, and expressing their emotions, and expressing them and feeling them, and not hiding from them, not denying them, not smothering them with other distractions, which I think, you know, men can do in their head, and with, you know, substances or different types of addictions, addictive behaviors or substances, whatever. We see that's pretty common in divine masculine, can be fairly common as well, in different aspects. But this is also, they want us to know they're feeling the emotions, they're feeling the love, and they're wanting the love. And again, they're wanting to fill the cup up. And Ace is also about new beginnings. It's about starting over, fresh new love. So this is about fresh new love. So that's beautiful that those 2 cards came together for what they wanted us to know. Second to last, we have what the divine feminine wants the divine masculine to know. And this is beautiful too. I've got the 9 of Pentacles came up, and it says gratitude. If you can see that without the glare, sorry, trying to figure out my camera. Gratitude. You know, we're very, the message that came through for that was, we're just very grateful, for all the lessons, for the love, the compassion, even the heartache, even the pain, whatever lessons it has been that we've learned, it's made us stronger, and we're grateful, because we wouldn't have done all the clearing, we wouldn't have recognized the patterns or the issues, or, you know, past life issues or family issues or whatever, you know, behaviors or patterns or whatever it is, that we needed to address. Fears, gosh, there's a lot of fears, codependency, we've had to let all that go. And had it not been for a lot of the conflict, and triggers, we wouldn't have really released all those things. But, you know, we're grateful for them. We're grateful for the connection. We're grateful for the love. We're grateful for the work that they have done and the work that they're doing, because we see how, divine feminines recognize how hard that they're working, and that they're of the persona that they're not going to come forward till they feel completely ready, and that we're completely ready, and that we will also be accepting of them. But our message to them is that we have immense, gratitude for the connection, and towards them. We got 3 of Wands that came out as well with that, which is motivation, and it's a very passionate energy. And it's, we are very motivated to come into union, to have that connection with them, but also motivated for our mission. We're motivated for our life. We're motivated to do our own work. The divine feminines are very motivated to do their own work, and to be, going back to this 9 of Pentacles, which is also about foundation. It's about money, abundance, our mission. What are we creating? The security, the foundation, and that's what Pentacles energy is for. We're very motivated. I think the summer has been so slow, and a lot of us have been doing a lot of really deep purging, and like no movement. And now September's hit, and it's kind of like, okay, I'm ready to go. It's kind of like we've woken up in a way where we're ready to jump in, feet first into the deep end with our mission. And we're motivated, but we want them to know that we're very motivated for mission and for this connection. The King of Pentacles was the bottom of the deck for that, is trust. We want them to trust us, but we trust in this connection. We trust in divine. We trust that things are going to work out by divine timing. Whatever that is for everybody is different for everyone, but this is a strong energy that we want them to know that we see them, that we trust them, that we see them as kings. We see them as this strong, very strong energy. King of Pentacles is very much they're loyal. They're slow moving, but they're loyal, and that's how we see. That's how divine feminines are seeing the divine masculines. And it's just about trust. We trust in them. And we want them to trust in us. That, and trust in the connection. Trust in the connection is really big too. And trust in themselves. Gosh, and I think that's a huge one. That's just coming through now. They need to trust in themselves, is what divine wants them to know, is they also need to trust in themselves. Okay, last but not least, what does everything I was talking about at the beginning, about the whole waking up, the reversal of the anesthesia, the veil being removed, them waking up. I had asked the question, what does this veil being removed, or the waking up of the divine masculine collective, what does it result in? And holy moly, I got Wheel of Fortune. And isn't this card gorgeous? I love the colors. When you get rainbow colors, and it says on the bottom destiny, when you get rainbow colors, that means truth. And it's beautiful. So we've got Wheel of Fortune, destiny, and what came up on the bottom of the deck was the Justice card, balance. And again, beautiful. So these 2 cards coming up together is just incredible energy. And this is the result of this veil being lifted. So basically, this veil being lifted, them being woken up by whatever divine intervention has taken place, because I feel it was, since it was such a rapid shift, is the Wheel of Fortune. It says destiny. Wheel of Fortune is going to be turning in the favor of the connection, in favor, of each twin individually, for their mission, for their path, for their own healing, for their own awakening, for their own unity and within self. But it's overall, it's turning in favor for the connection of the 2. And the balance card, the Justice card, it's all about doing the right thing making decisions, but making decisions in very fair ways. You know, our divine masculines, we don't want them to do things out of haste. We don't want them to be sword energy, right? We don't. We want them to be like all the other energies combined, you know, a little bit of the cup, emotional, a little bit of the foundational, strong earth, pentacle energy, and some of that passionate fire energy. You know, we want them to be a blend of those. The sword, maybe not as much, you know, other than maybe the clarity and clear thinking aspect of that and decision making. But, you know, we really, you know, the result of this is, you know, fair and just decision making for everybody involved, whether it's leaving of a job, leaving a relationship, leaving of, you know, again, like I said earlier, behavior patterns, whatever it is karmically that they're leaving behind, or decisions that they need to make is that those decisions will be done, and it will, you know, karma is going to be involved in that, karmic cycles, you know, coming to an end. But they also want to bring justice and balance to the relationship. They going forward, looking forward, you know, they want to bring, well, overall, you know, it's this balance of the relationship, the balance of the two. So it's kind of like the balance and the karma is coming back in. It's been very off. There's been so much conflict. There's been so much resistance. There's been so much pain, so much heartache, so many words said, so much confusion, so much anger. And I know, you know, talking to so many other twin flames friends of mine, experiencing very similar emotions just all over the place, right? And same things are coming up in collective card readings. So this is just about this, everything coming back to balance. You know, let's make things right. Let's look forward. Let's move forward. And again, that goes, you know, we've got the World card, so, and the Star. So having the World card and the Star and these two cards together, to me, is amazing. And if you put the two of these together, it's like an infinity, right? They're two circles. The two circles creates an infinity, and that's beautiful. And it's beautiful. You know, I wanted to cry when I did this reading, and like I was just so happy. I could feel this energy and this love coming through, and the excitement of divine and of the divine masculines. Like the divine masculines are kind of like, okay, you know, we're finally turning this corner, and there. So, anyways, just a really, really beautiful, beautiful reading. And that I just wanted to share with you guys. And I think I'm just going to wrap that up because it's already been, 52 minutes here. So I think I'm going to leave it at that for today. I am going to start doing more YouTube channels and messages, you know, both card readings and other, you know, general spiritual awakening topics, guidance. I'm just kind of creating this as I go, and as messages come through from divine. So if I'm, you know, guided to hop on here and share a message or do a reading, I will. And I will be setting up PayPal for Magdalene's Wish 3311. And I will be doing, offering both healing services and card readings, and kind of doing a combination of the two together for health coaching with the coaching, card reading, and distant Reiki energy healing, kind of all wrapped into one healing package. So not just, you know, card reading. So, and it's not going to be exclusive to twin flames. It's going to be for anybody on the awakening journey. I just happen to have all this stuff coming through for twin flame unions because it's such intense energy right now. So I felt that this had to get out there. So anyway, thank you all for being here. Subscribe to my new baby channel and support me in this. I really appreciate it, and I'm excited to see where this all goes for everybody. And again, take what resonates with you from this, and you know the rest. Thank you, everybody, and bless everybody. Namaste. Bye-bye.